So the WNBA has found itself in quite the conundrum. They're out here to figure out what is a woman and eligibility for what it is to play in the WNBA. I am Unico Williams, but do you hear me with Unico Williams? Keep it locked in. Make sure you like and subscribe for all your sports and entertainment news. All things interesting. Keep it locked in. Now, let's get to it. So we somehow went from Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese. Then we evolved into like a full-on race war, it would seem. Now we talking about some things more from the rule book and some societal discussions such as what is a woman? Why are we talking about that? Well, first of all, Miss Enes Kanter Freedom, NBA player, ex-NBA player. I believe he was a third overall pick in the first round, definitely a first rounder. He said that, she said that, they said that they identify as a woman. And another ex-NBA player, Royce White, also is declaring for the 2027 WNBA Draft as well, because they identify as women for basketball purposes. Why did this happen? Well, kind of exploiting the rules that are already written. So both players are pointing directly at the WNBA's collective bargaining agreement, Article 13, Section 1A, which states only players who are women are eligible without explicitly defining gender identity or sex assigned at birth. It clearly just says only players who are women are eligible. So it doesn't go down the rabbit hole of, this is what constitutes what a woman is or those type of things. Like there's no extra bylaws that kind of go into it, because we do live in a society where you are able to identify as you feel or as you see fit. So if you identify as a woman, or you say no one can, people can say that's not a woman, but from a societal standpoint, that's a no. You can't tell people what they are or are not anymore. Whatever they identify is what they are. So a lot of us can conclude that they're just some far right people that are exploiting this and trying to make a point. That's the way it seems. Anybody with two eyes can see that these guys, that they are exploiting potentially a rule. I don't believe that they truly feel that way. If you can remember, Royce White actually said he only played 3 games in the NBA, and the reason that he's out of the NBA is because he was afraid of flights. And their statement was that they were only claustrophobic because of the woman that was trapped inside them. So that's why they felt claustrophobic, because the woman inside them. That's what's going on. So they're exploiting that. And so now the WNBA, because at this point it is almost the WWE with all these storylines. The WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert issued a memo to all the team leadership, and they actually had to form a task force with the GMs and team presidents to address eligibility guidelines. So the union stance right now is that they are emphasizing inclusion while stating they refuse to be used as political pawns in a broader culture debates. Now, the Minnesota Lynx coach went out was saying, "Hey, I'm here for the inclusion. Anyone that it says they're a woman should be able to play in our league." Okay. I gotta say, before we get all the way deep into this, my stance on it, I believe that physiological man, that a man at birth, you just have different things going on. I've had my fair share of girlfriends, and I know that they don't have as broad shoulders as I have. They don't have as long arms as I have. They can't jump as high as I can. I'm sure there's a threshold for strength that I can reach that they cannot. So that's where I'm at. I just believe it's unfair. I have 2 daughters. I just cannot see a world where it's okay for them to see somebody like myself actually come down the lane and play them at this juncture. It just would not be fair. Yes, there's skill involved in all that, but hey, I'm skilled, but I just would have a physical advantage, and I don't think it's fair. Imagine Russell Westbrook in this league. There's not anybody on that court that could stop Russell Westbrook. I'm sorry, and it's just a physical advantage. So a lot of this also comes down to there's a French person that is playing in like Division II professional French sports or something, and they would like to play in the WNBA. Now they're like the player of the year. They average 22 points a game, 20 rebounds. Can we say that's a physiological thing? I mean, people are saying, well, they should be, if men are so good or much better than women at basketball, then why isn't this person really dominating more than they should? So the argument could be made that, the trans person can play as long as they're not that good. Is that the argument that could be made? I'm not sure. Because I mean, there's such a contrast. And if you're able to say that the eligibility is just you have to be a woman, it's just you with the climate that we're in right now, you have to be clear on who can play in this sport and it's fair. I mean, I understand inclusion, but I just understand the necessity of just preserving athletic fairness in physical competition. I think it's that cut and dry, honestly. But here's the problem. No matter what definition that the league writes into the rule book going forward, there's still going to be criticism from one side of the debate or the other. There's going to be people that are like inclusive, and then there's going to be people. So say they write up and say, basically you have to identify, you have to have, I almost said the balls, but well, fuck it, let's say it. You have to have the balls to be like, this is what defines what a woman is, and you got to stand on business with that, right? That's the problem. That's the problem that they're going to run into, no matter how you say it. Because if you say all trans women are welcome to come, if you identify as a woman, because you can't talk down on the sincerity of someone. You can't gauge the sincerity of if they say that they identify as a woman. You can't gauge that anymore. Because people are going to say, who are you to tell me that I am not a woman? And that's going to be the problem going forward. So there's people that are going to hate that if they say, no, you have to be born, assigned woman at birth. If they say that, there's going to be an issue, because then there's a trans person out there saying, I was just born in the wrong body, but I'm a woman. You're gonna have that backlash either way it goes. So that's why this is such a tricky and slippery slope that we're on right now, because who is to say? So, I mean, either way it goes, there's going to be a trade-off for the league's reputation. I mean, you got to think about the business aspect of this, because, if they say trans women can be here, I believe that the MAGA squad is going to be all over it. And then if you say that trans women cannot be in the WNBA, then you're going to face backlash from that community. And now that's a whole different business thing. There's business partners that maybe they identify, maybe there's just a hard pass on it. You don't know. So I'm like this. Let's put all the chips on the table. I'm done with it. Let's stop the debate. Let's put it right there for everyone to see. You set up a team of the best women signed at birth, women that you can, and then bring up a team of trans women and have them play against each other and see how it comes out. Put it out there. Say that women can compete with, let's put it out there. Put your chips out there. Women can compete with biological men, and it's okay. Or we see that it could be a massacre, a blowout, if you have this game on the side of the trans women being much better than assigned at birth women. Either way it goes, everybody put their chips on the table and let's see it. I will watch it. Or let's see some highlights of a extremely good trans woman, the best in the world, and see how they fare in the WNBA. Or maybe just one person on the team. Let's just see what happens. Put the chips on the table. I want to see it. But I'm telling you, there's a reason why there is a separation. There's a physical segregation in sports, and it's for a purpose. I just honestly can't see my daughters matching up against somebody that could be as like a Russell Westbrook, but that's extreme. That's MVP. That's Hall of Fame. I can go to somebody like maybe Mario Chalmers, maybe Eric Snow. Let's talk about some point guards that could be maybe 6'2" to 6'6" athletic. And I think we all know that the average height of a WNBA player might be like 6 foot. I don't know. You tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. I'm really not sure. I can't remember honestly. But I mean, you can get some people that's at the end of the bench as guards that I believe could really come in and dominate in the WNBA. I'm sorry. I think that's really that's where we're at now. For clicks and ratings and all that stuff, I just told you I'd watch it just to see what happens. I think it would lose its luster, but I mean, I think the initial shock value of having said game would actually be that's must watch TV. I would watch it. So I mean, and just think about all the talking heads the next day after this game and how social media is going to go crazy behind it. I mean, it's a very big power play from a financial standpoint. It might be the most watched game of all time if they were to put something out there. Like I say, put all the chips on the table and let's show and prove one way or the other who's right and go from there. But honestly, like I said, there's going to be so much backlash. And honestly, the WNBA can no longer ignore its rulebook wording. And now they got to decide how to handle its eligibility criteria going forward. This is a big thing. So let me do this. Let me ask y'all this. Should the WNBA strictly define eligibility based on biological sex at birth? Or should they create a new framework? Like, what would happen if an ex-NBA player actually stepped on a WNBA court? I want to know. So what is your thoughts? So with that being said, please make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel, comment, do all the things. I did it short earlier. Check it out. And I'm going to be with you the whole time. So anytime there's any type of breaking news about this WNBA action, all the latest movie reviews, anything that happens in entertainment, I got you. Keep it locked in right here to Do You Hear Me with Unico Williams. I holla. Thanks for watching. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. Don't forget, every Thursday, the full podcast is on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and mama, I'm on Spotify. Overall 99 ENT bring you videos from Friday all the way to Friday. So be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it. Again, thank you so much. I holla.